It's illegal. Somebody can't just decide what they're going to take off your direct debit without your consent. You know what I mean? It's like, no, that's a breach of trust. And you didn't have consent. Sorry, that's actually not legal. Bye-bye. No, you're not allowed to do that. Do you understand? That's what I'm saying. It's just, they're trying to show people have given your power away to these companies, which don't exist. A fake entity. This is why, same from the legal structure, the straw man has been brought to your attention. Hello, there is no separate self. It's an illusion. That's what it represents. You do not exist. There is no separate you, literally. At the center of that is nothing. There's no real person. Absolutely not. Never was any separation. It's that really what they're saying is true. But you do not perceive it as such, as long as you keep believing that you exist, that I am a person having a human experience. And there's a real world of people, that's what you perceive. You see? So it's trying to wake you up. Anyway, it's interesting to see what it depends, I suppose, on what it's trying to shake out. The misconceptions, when you have not seen, it's going to shake that bottle, and it really is shaking it like no. You're not seeing this from a higher level, because you wouldn't try and screw someone else and profit from them, extract wealth from them, any of these things. You wouldn't do that in a higher consciousness, because you know it's you. You see. But until those are awake enough, I suppose it's trying to shake them, you see. You wouldn't dream of harming the other. You wouldn't dream of exploiting them. You wouldn't dream of any of these things, you know. Well, anyway. Because you could only see love. That's it. Anyway, there we are. Sorry, there's a laugh. You had a laugh, because like even today, when after speaking to this company and telling them, no, sorry, and they did, I was like, all right, bye-bye. No, it's like a child. It's like, no, we don't behave like that, sorry. We're going to cancel that direct debit now because you're in breach of trust and you're behaving illegally. It's like a child. I'm like, no. But some people are just allowing them to do these things. And you're like, wow. Nope. Sorry. Anyway, I think they are starting to now, but a lot of people don't realize they can even I suppose legally, or they don't know these things. If they haven't worked, they haven't got any understanding of law and stuff or contracts, or they wouldn't know that, you see. You're not exactly taught that in school. That's what I'm saying. They don't teach you much. Oh, goodness me. That's falling away. Thank goodness, because the intelligence level is rising. So you're not taught legal things. Well, you may need to in the future. Contracts, contract law, any of those things. Absolutely not. Actually amazed how illiterate some people are. And certain countries are far worse than others. Shockingly, England seems to be, a lot of people are very ignorant on labor, anything. So obviously seems to be, they had oppression far too long, you see. They didn't have any idea of human rights, legal, HR. Wow, I had no clue. I'm actually amazed how very ignorant some people are of law. Yeah, but you see, when you go online, that's what they do. It's terms and agreements, you see. That's how they do it. If they're supplying you and you click on, you pay, that's how they do it. Yeah, I know. It's a whole thing, but yeah. But I'm saying people don't realize when they tell you, we are increasing your direct debit, no. You actually can say no. People have no clue. Well, anyway. Yeah, and then when they don't listen, they're in breach, actually. And it's illegal. You can't just take whatever you want of someone's account. Like, hello. And you see why. It's what I'm saying. You're like, no. It's not like there's no anger as such. You see when this, you just automatically know something is wrong or out of alignment, or it's just natural. You intuitively know that's not right behavior. That's not good. That's not, it's just, it's like, no, there's not, it just naturally, the body naturally is like, no, sorry, we don't accepting that behavior. And this is what I'm saying. This is what's happening now. Intuitively, the bodies are doing it because there's only one player here. It's programmed there's no real people. And this is what's happening. And this is why they're like, no, no. But some of them aren't understanding. They're getting angry because they haven't started waking up yet. So there's no inner reflection either. And questioning, never mind even what they are, that they even exist. That's another story. But the programs, the patterns, and they on automatic trigger, on loop replay. I mean, you can just see them. They're getting, because their reactions and the same responses to the same stories, the same games as they loop around. Like now, the elections and the this, and they're like, oh, it's been going on for I don't know how long. The same stories. Until you see it correctly, the story will not collapse, you see. This is the thing. And those that are starting to wake up, when they do the inner work or shadow work, they know that. So, but what they're not clicking is that the same applies to the collective mirror, you see. The avatars have a collective mirror. So, yeah. So when you're not seeing something from a higher perspective on the collective scale, that is why it gets amplified. Like it gets more and more like bizarre. Like as I'm saying, the imbalance and poverty, the so-called protection of companies, all about companies and protect money, business. Whose business? What company? It doesn't happen. There's no such thing as a company. There's no real company. It's a name. A piece of paper, lawyer, proof, there we are. Now you got a company. Belongs to who, though? And then the shareholders and whatever. And we'll just blame the poor manager and fire him, and then we'll all hide behind him. No. That's what I'm saying. It's just so much the ego. It's so the whole duality game, the whole, Yeah, anyway. It is what it is. All right. We just not even going to, as I say, the refresh feeds, I'd just rather not even stay. I'd rather not scroll at all on TikTok. You can only refresh so much, and then you get the most bizarre things anyway. I don't know what algorithms are going on there, but we have no idea. You have no interest. You can refresh your feed till the cows come home, and you're like, what the hell are they showing you? Okay, that's just what's going on. I'm like, nope. Well, anyway, there we are. All right, so you can't say that, because depending on where you are. Whatever you're reacting to, you're going to react to. You see what your perception is. But here you see it, and you see what they are, what the reflection they are, what the appearance is trying to reflect. And you're like, wow. There's so much unconscious. It's so sad. You feel sometimes sorry for the character, the bodies, because you understand that they are so caught in their dream. They're not even, when they're not awake yet, they're not seeing, and they're going to suffer. I'm watching some, and there's a lot of compassion here for some that are very in their story. And you see the suffering coming up for them, and they're not aware of it. And you say, there's a lot of compassion, because you understand that body, even its appearance, is going to suffer. You know what I mean? Because they are not awake, and they are not wanting to see it, and they're avoiding, and they're like, no. And it's sad, and you're like, they're just so lost in it. They're so in the... But there we are. It's a reflection, it's appearance also. They're playing it for people. So the field is producing these appearances in order to put them in front of people to try and wake them up. You see, they're playing a mirror. It's all it is. That's what this whole thing is. It's reflecting the distortion of the characters, of the avatars. But you must always remember, you are not one of the avatar. The mirror is not you. It's not reflecting anything about you. It's reflecting loops, the character, the mind. loops that it keeps projecting. You see? As long as it also keeps believing it, someone is going to keep creating a world, and that's why it's got to work through its projections, and it's slowly, they drop off so it can start seeing that it is not real. It is not the avatar, but it needs to release a lot of those, because it's so, when its vortex is very dense, it just loop, 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 and it's not even, it can't see through at all. That any of us is not, even that it's not anything. It just can't see through the Maya whatsoever. It's clear. And you're like, wow, anyway. But there's still love and compassion. So I say it's the most bizarre thing. Because there's still love. Illusion or not, there's still love and compassion when you see the suffering, of those. Or that it's going to come, because they're just not seeing it. They're not at all. They're so stuck. There's one lady here I have a lot of empathy for. She's obviously paying people. She's an influencer. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's hilarious. So people, well, anyway, this whole thing. There's no even people. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, there's an avatar here that's playing an influencer, or believes it is. It's in the UK, a lady is into cosmetics and I don't know, whatever, who knows. But obviously, she's so asleep. It's so sad. She's so unconscious. This avatar is absolutely, completely unawakened, and completely in its lost in its appearance, and it's believing it's the real thing, and it's all about its appearance and its body and its whatever things. It's very much in the illusion. But there are things that aren't going too well. And you can see that the character, the avatar, is trying desperately to deny it and avoid and not face what's coming up. And there's just sadness. So you realize there's going to be a lot of suffering and loss. But that's the catalyst. You can see now what's going to happen. So that's not pleasant. You can see that what's going to happen for that character. And it's going to have a very nasty awakening, a dark night of the soul. And it's going to be such suffering. And you desperately want to say, hey, please pay attention to what's happening in your life. Don't try and look the other way and avoid it and things, because it's going to cause you huge suffering. It's going to come. But they're trying to run away. The character, see, it's illusion. It's trying to run away because, see, that's part of the ego. It doesn't want to face, because it's been programmed not to face its emotions and its feelings and its fears. Trust me, this is all avatars before they wake. So it tries to avoid feeling it. But this is the thing, the end of the thing, you have to feel to release it. So everything that was unfelt, denied, hidden. So this poor lady, the movie's starting to fall apart, you can see, because the stress and the thing, the denial is you can't run away. It's just, you can't. The avatar can't. The program is not going to go away until you've deleted it or transcended it or realize you're not it. So the character's already starting to have physical issues, and you can see things are going to come up, and you can see they're desperately in denial, and they're going to have a lot of suffering. And you just feel so much compassion. It's like a child. You just want to love them, tell them it's okay, and you're all right. You can see that's what I'm saying. There's such lack of self-worth, the avatars, because they believe in separation, that I'm not good enough. They're desperately trying to, believing what your exterior, if I look better, you see, I'm validated by somebody else, saying I look great, I've got this, I've got that. That's what I'm saying. The self-worth is, the ego has been pushed to its extreme, that it will collapse. It gives up because it's, this illusion of itself, and I'm so wonderful. It's fake. It's illusion that it is a separation of anything. That it will be forced to turn to source, to question its existence, or is there must be more than this. We know that. That's what they call the dark night of the soul. And you can see this coming for this lady, and I tell you what, I know it's going to be one, ooh, and you just have, there's so much compassion here, and you want to reach out and say something, but it's not going to be register. It's not. It's going to go straight over the head. But you can see wow. And there's just compassion for her. Wow, there's just compassion. You're like, wow. Yeah. It's not knowing what you are. That's what it's trying to do. To push the ego to its extreme, so it will actually start questioning its existence, or what, anything, start turning around and look for itself, because itself is the source itself. It's not even the avatar, it's not the character, it's not the body, it's not even in the movie. That's the best part of it. Then it really becomes joy. Anyway, there we are. At the moment, as I say, the fourth density, a lot are on the path, but they're not seeing that, and they're not understanding the collective reflections, because they're still also perceiving it's too much judgment and separation, you see. So they're carrying too much of that energy, density. Anyway. No, you just can't even indulge in it. Like, there's no ways you even want to see anything to do with elections. Like, it doesn't matter what it is, any of the games, those loops going on, because those loops just don't apply anymore. Sorry, about Blue Sun? Nothing is real, my friend. I wouldn't worry. Anything that you perceive out there is an illusion, including the self. You are dreaming this. You are not a person in a real world. So I wouldn't worry about anything that appears out there. That's the point. It's trying desperately to show people nothing's real here. So if you see Blue Sun, whatever you see out there, it's getting really bizarre, crazy to wake, It's so interesting what they're perceiving, and stories, and it's imagining, and it's like, wow, it's going all over the show. All the stories are just, whatever. It's imagining all kinds of things. It's really fascinating to see, even because the stage is not interested in the Maya anymore, really. So the stories of what it's imagining and believing, all the stories that are coming out. Yeah, no, I'm not really interested in any of them. Yeah, dreams are also part of the stories. It's all stories held by the Maya. It's all programs and patterns held by There's no real person. There's a personality structure which is created. It's an energetic structure. That's all that exists. There's no real person. It's a projected image that consciousness believes it is. The minute you stop believing that you are real, you are this image that you are perceiving, it starts to fall away. But that takes some work. It's a puzzle. There's a lot. I've shared so much. I don't know where you are on your journey. As this one went through its journey, it shared all of it. And it's made playlists on my TikTok page. There are playlists there. The Dark Night of the Soul, the body thing, the energy thing, then the unwinding of the Maya, transcending the Maya, non-duality. There are lots of playlists there. So depending on where you are on the journey, there's lots there to help you with all of it. There's a lot been shared. Because as this one was waking up, it was sharing its journey, and then all the things, and when it believed it was a real body too, and what to eat, what not to eat, and the energy, and but that's all part. The so-called chakras and the energy thing are the personality structure, the fake entity. That is the matrix, which makes up a so-called person, which is nothing more than energy and an appearance, an image. Doesn't exist. You created that. And the programs that it's holding were the programs that you wanted to, so-called see through, transcend it, and then realize, oh no, this is not. And I'm not it. There we are, whatever you believe. That's another level, that's what I'm saying. That's another level. The level past that all disappears. You are not a character in the play. That is fourth density, when you still perceive bodies, but they're completely holographic. But there's another past that. That you'll perceive empty bodies. You'll know you're not them. You know you're not the body. You know you're not the character. And you perceive holographic people. But that too can get transcended. That's what I'm saying. This awakening, the bodies are at all different levels of awakening. Some are when you wake up and you perceive you're a person and you're psychic and you're this and that, that's one. You've got to get past that. You've got to actually physically perceive and have the actual experience that there are no other people. There are holographic appearances. But when you still think you're in it, that is one. That's just before. That's actually, as you say, if you want to say, if you want to give it a concept, can you imagine the bubble now, or the atmosphere, stratosphere? You at that, now you on that fourth dimension, you on that verge between the densities. When that thing actually dissolves, poof, the entire thing pops and there's nothing. And there's a video of someone who's, I even shared it on my page the other day, a man actually describing what they perceive when everything disappears. When even that bubble pops and that person, the self, completely disappears. There is no separate person, no self, no me, no avatar, nothing. I've shared videos of describing that. They've transcended all forms and body. You see? This is where we're at right now. This is what's so amazing. There are so many. They are in the dream now. There's those at all these different levels. You see, are all perceiving completely different realities. It's fascinating. Those that are completely unawakened, those that are, say, spiritually awake, that are doing the astrals and tarot cards and believing they're the character, but they are source, but playing a character. Then you get to the next level where no, you realize you are not the body or anything to do with the body or what it does or the thoughts or any of that. And you then perceive things as holographic. You perceive it as you are the universe and there are people, holographic appearances in it. But then that can also completely hit that thing where it explodes. And that all morphs into nothing. And there's only energy. And that energy right there and then is going like this. Instant appearance. It's instant manifestation. It instantly manifests what's happening. There's no tomorrow, there's no time, there's nothing, not even separate people. I've shared that. That's what they call radical non-duality. That is at the highest level so far in the game of perceived illusions and Maya perception. That is the highest level there's not even a self. There's no one. There's no I. There's no self. There's nothing. So there are those literally telling you. That's why I say what they're perceiving is not at all. The world is gone. They don't perceive what you perceive. There's no imagined world out there. As it is being created, it appears. And there's nobody doing it. You see, the self is separate, the I, that's all gone. Anyway, that's another story. At the moment, today was about the collective mirror. The fourth density, reflective mirror that's the avatars, the characters are. Well. Oh. Something else. It's only going to get louder or more crazy or more extreme. It's because they are not seeing it. As soon as they identify and distortion, see it, it will not, it'll collapse. That's all. But fighting it's not going to help. Well, yeah. Don't even go there. The first of all is to identify. Yeah. There we are. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. It's all out there. It's quite interesting what's, whatever. Even there, not that it's not, because, it's all just, it's the mind, as I'm saying. It's what the minds are projecting. It's still reflection. So what it is the character, it's the mind, it's the program that's being reflected. There's no people. So each avatar is containing a program, and wherever it's distortions, those are being reflected. So the so-called projective mirror, collective humanity mirror, are the actual avatars programs. The distortions of the collective conscious avatar. The human, yeah. So in a so-called the dream realm, its distortions are being reflected to it. All the egos, the so-called, so, for them to, so it can wake up and realize, no, I am, no, actually not. There is only source. There's no I am. You see, that disappears. There's no me and source at all. There's no I, there's no self, there's no me, there's no, that all goes. No, it's fighting itself. That's all, doesn't it? Anyway, so I say, there's no, who knows, they all seem to have their own programs and whatever they, I know them saying, if they don't do it, if it doesn't reflect on itself as the one, it's not going to, you see, it won't understand the mirror or whatever it's perceiving, it won't understand it. It can't. It's got to seek to understand what it is and to resolve its reflections. That's all. Everyone knows. Most are on that path. You see, they're working through the avatar's reflections, the shadow. But they're still thinking they are. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah. But actually, at the center of it, it doesn't exist. It's quite amazing, actually, to see that. There never is any separation. They're actually just all stories and thoughts. I've explained it in one of my playlists. Actually, what it looks like and how when it falls apart, what the structure of it. Yeah. I shared one today, which Bashar describes it, that people are still thinking because you're still perceiving it, you see, from inside that structure. Because you think you are. So you're still believing it's real. So you are perceiving a real person as I'm this person perceiving the world out there. No, you've created this personality structure, but there is no real person in it at all. That's fascinating. That is the biggest shock. And that takes some energetic adjustment too. As we found out. Whoopsie, that was quite a... It's all goody-goody until that bubble wants to pop. So that takes some energetic adjustment because, as I say, there's still a belief that there's a separate you, a soul, a separate something. Yeah. Because that belief is what holds the Maya together completely. That is the Maya itself. That one belief. And I shared something today about that. All right. It's late. We were only coming on to, the amusement of that, even I could say with these companies today, and I just like, no, we're cancelling your direct debit now, you can't behave yourself. I'm sorry about that. we don't behave like that. It's what I'm saying, because there's nothing's hidden anymore. So you can see the distortions, any kind of an attempt to manipulate, lie, this brainwashing, coercion, manipulation, all these tactics are seen clearly. Even the coercion to get people to eat all vegetarians and this and that, and any kind of manipulation, coercion, intimidation, anything like that, these tactics or whatever, distortions, control, whatever it is, it's seen. So it's seen through like a lie, like this thing. Oh, we want to increase your debt, but to make sure you stay on track, to make sure, you don't get into whatever. Like, that, it's insincere. There's not even, it's just, it's just a knowing. Immediately, that's not true. What they're saying is not true. So there's no more, there's no more deceit. Nothing can be hidden. How can I explain this? It's like, it just doesn't fly. They can go, oh, no, we're doing this for that. This is immediate knowing. It's absolute lie. No, it's not true. No, what you're saying is not, not. That's what I'm saying. You understand? Say what you're worrying about, because as you rise up, it's not going to fly. You just know it's not. I don't know why. You know you can't be deceived anymore. How do I put that? I don't know. There's just you can see its tactics and its manipulation, and it comes as the consciousness rises, especially when you start seeing through the ego itself and the mind and its thoughts and how that, and tries to play and manipulate, and you see the structure, personality structure, you see the actual structure. When you start seeing that, then you can see, I'm saying, so you can start seeing it on a bigger scale too. All its games it tries to play, it's like, no, no. Not that you have anything, but it's like, no. It's like a naughty child, you know what I mean? It's like, no, that's not right. That's not true. We don't do that. It's like, no, you're not concerned about the welfare of this body. You're concerned about your bank balance. And you are using this one's and the public's money to invest in infrastructure which you want to profit from, but not give them any shares towards it. No, that's actually, you see, it's, that the truth is known. How do I put this? The truth is just known. So there's no more, you can't whitewash or ball. That's what I'm saying. So all of it will fall away, because there'll be nobody that will believe anything that it's like trying to sell you, But you have to see through the bullshit first. You've got to see through the illusion yourself to be able to perceive it. So you got to work on on the ego structure, personality structure. That is what the ego is. A person is you. The life, the story about you. That is the ego. I am so-and-so. I was born. I have a life. That's my past. My mother, I did that. That's completely made up. Doesn't exist. That person doesn't exist. When you start working on the actual structure and the ego and the voices and the mind, and you're working through all that, you cannot, and you see its games and tactics as well, and the thoughts and the things, and you've done a level of whatever, the patterns of the personality structure, the shadows, the reflections of the 4D mirrors, all those things are good. You understand. You've worked through the personality structure's reflections, projections, and the mirror grids, which most people believe they still are. You see, that's reflecting to me. There's no you see. You can then also see through the whole shebang there. All of it, the illusion. And whatever they're trying to any deceit. So they're trying to get, you to change the habits, social engineering, and get you to all eat vegan and this and that, whatever it is. Whatever someone is trying to manipulate, control, perceive, whatever, it's just known. You just know, no, that's not true. Or that's false, or that's manipulation, or that's, you see what I'm saying? I don't know how, I can't explain it. This is what's happening, and this is going to happen, because if you understand all is one, and it is waking itself up, the end of the Maya, whatever stage they are, all the bodies are going to wake up, so you know what's going to happen. Do you understand? Especially when you've passed through that, so you know what's going to, that's it, because it's just, you can see what's going to come, and you can understand the reflection. It's amazing, actually. It's quite. So you're not worried, because no. There's no more. Yeah, it's games and its tactics won't work. Anyway, there we are. That's why I'm saying, no. God, sorry, I can't. You can't even consider of engaging in any elections at all. It's not even, you just can't. I can't explain it, but literally, energetically, you cannot even want to participate, think about it, watch it, listen to it in any way. There's just not ability to do it, and you just, that's it. You know. And anything, it's not an appearance because it's manufactured, it's an illusion, it's made up. If it's not here and appearing, it's imagined. And it doesn't matter. Yeah, doesn't matter. Yeah, here we are. Exactly. Yeah. No, it's not that. Yeah, it's just that it's just it can't. It's maybe it's you can't even say why. It's like a frequency. Maybe it's just the ability not to. You just can't. It just doesn't compute. It doesn't register to even resonate, to even think of it as real or as legitimate or as anything. It's like no, not. It's like, no, yeah. It's just like, so as I say, they'll get there. So I'm saying people mustn't worry about it. If you understand what is actually out there, it's just all the avatars, distortions being reflected, which I explained last time. Crazy. There we are, of the story. And each one is supposed to try and realize what's being reflected to it, and as they do, they will then more and more understand what they are perceiving so-called out there. There we are. That's it. And then when they do, wow, as I'm saying, it'll all vanish, literally. You will understand it because they believe there's a real world, a real things. You literally shift into a complete different dimension, perception. What you perceive completely will change. Like literally, just like choof, it vanishes. The whole world falls away, and there's no more separate world, separate nonsense, anything. That's what will happen because it is waking itself up. All avatars will be programmed as well, you see, to wake up at a certain time, at a certain thing. They're all going to, as their puzzles. So it's installed into each energetic grid of each so-called, because there's nothing else besides energy. There's no real person that exists. Energy, and it's got so-called what you would think. It's fed with thoughts and a program. Each one has got fed with, that was my memory, this is my child, my thoughts appearing now, everything. So that story is fed to maintain the illusion of it's constantly there. It will keep feeding itself. As soon as you start seeing, it'll try and push. It tries to because it knows, otherwise the whole thing collapses. So it'll keep, that's why you have memories and thoughts keep coming down to try to reinforce this personality structure you've created out of nothing to play the Maya. But each program has got an ending to it. So it's going to wake up. Its Maya will collapse. And then it's like, holy, there was none of this, no. It doesn't even exist at that level of consciousness at all. You wouldn't even perceive it. What government? Sorry. It sounds funny now, but you can't even perceive of taking part of that game. It's like, no, we don't want to play ping pong, thanks. No, thank you. I'll give that game up. Getting too old for that one. Sorry. The sense of humor here, at least the body has a good sense of humor. It has lots of love. It has lots of compassion. Thank goodness. It's a good program running. Love, compassion, and a sense of humor. They don't even exist. They never happened. There's no person with a. That's what I'm saying. You are source. You never had a childhood. You were never born. There's no real person. That's a complete fake structure you've made up. Yeah, never mind. And the body is literally an image, energetic image. It's like that'll also at a level that appears as holographic, like what you would say spirit forms. But that too, that's another level. Those that have gone past that, those also dissolve into. They all get absorbed into that nothing, no thing, to this one ball of energy, and then there are no separate forms. What it does is like instantly, woof, it forms like as you're moving, the things appear, like there. It's not like you wake up and the things are there. How can like what you perceive now, right? Let's say when the avatar opens its eyes, it perceives there's a bed. Okay, there's my table. That doesn't happen. when there's no I and the self goes back into no thing, all of that starts merging into one thing. So there's one field of energy, like this. Can you imagine this shapeless energy? And literally, things appear instantly, like there. They're not, I can't, yeah, I don't know. There's no way to even begin to describe that. Don't know. It's like, that just goes poof. It explodes or dissolves or pops. Depends on the experience, a flash of light into, like, that's it. And there's no self, I, me, nothing. Nothing. Anyway. There are some explaining that. That's why I say when people can't understand what they're saying and what they perceive, because literally what they perceive now is nothing similar to this plane of perception, the mirror grids, or what they want to call the reflection of this avatar reflection story, the Maya. They don't perceive that at all anymore. All right, it's tired now. Lots of love. Just wow. It's just sadness. There's sadness. Because when you see, even though you know it's not, there's no real people, them fighting and there's hate and trying to screw each other. And as you say, one is like completely oblivious, I'm having my caviar with my doggy and my this and that. And there's like wow, it's just all of this like crazy extreme behavior going on, all these, and as I say, these companies just, everyone's exploiting and lying or manipulating or controlling, and the whole behavior, of the whole thing, avatars. It's, as I'm saying, it's just the distortions, all the shadows. If I say to people, if they're able to not watch, if you understand everything so-called you are perceiving is the Maya itself. So all you are perceiving now are all the distortions and reflections, distorted beliefs, images created by mind. It's ego, control, manipulation, distortion, blah, 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 whatever, all it's tactic. As I'm saying, what it does, good, bad, polar, all that nonsense, that's all it is. Just wow. And it's just getting louder. Yeah. It's depending on the program and what are the catalysts for each, because it's been each so-called avatar, which is just an energetic grid program. It's thoughts. It's just it's energies. It holds it together. So it's got to have it's set up, and it'll also be set up to whatever catalyst to wake it up. That's all. That's going to be pushed to this, and whatever that's going to push it over the edge, or that one will happen, and this one, someone, each is going to have a catalyst for it to it's like the snapping point for it to eventually the ego, gets to hits a brick wall and just can't go any further, whether it's a business collapse or a child dies or whatever, as I'm saying, it gets to such a point where it just can't run away anymore, and then it hits a boing. That's what it does, because if it's not waking up and solving its puzzle, is obviously in each story, it's like a bolt-on thing that's they're going to trigger its awakening. Whether it willingly, starts seeking it, because I say, it depends on the work and each character. You can see the stories are different, because they're all programmed with different things. So some automatically will just seek the higher knowledge and wanting to become monks or whatever, and others will, hit a brick wall, literally, will have to lose everything and then be on their knees to seek, almost to give up. Depending on what will push that, what it's programmed, you see, to trigger its surrender, because it believes it is, and it's going to keep trying as a separate thing, so it's going to hit the whatever. Anyway, it doesn't even exist. That's the funny part. Doesn't exist. There's no person that exists at all. There's no self, there's no body, there's no separate one that exists whatsoever. It's just energies. It's a story. And it's literally held together. It's like by thoughts, time, person, this and that, and the image. It's a reflect. It's no substance to it whatsoever. Anyway. All right. So much love. Hope you found this entertaining, because I sure did. So, when you go on, no, I can't say I don't. People suffering, I don't find it entertaining. I'm saying when you see this and you can see it, and you just have sympathy. But then, as I say, there's so many. Yeah, it's different. But then you also know there's no one there. There really is no one. Oh, yeah, it's paradox. It is a real paradox, actually. All right. Love you all. Be good, as I was saying. And don't, yeah, well, that's pointless saying that as well. That's what I say. It's getting there. For people, if people aren't getting it and they keep being doormats, it's going to make it until they eventually get so frustrated they're going to put their foot down and say enough is enough, you see. And I think that's why they're being pushed now. How much do you need to be screwed over before you wake up? How much will you allow yourself to be downtrodden, abused? And it's amazing how much abuse it takes. It allows itself to be so ill-treated and abused and misused, and wow, it's horrendous. Anyway, till it wakes up and it's like, anyway, love you all. Oh, you're welcome. Lots of love, man. I'm going to try and switch off now. I can't remember how to do it. I've got to end this thing. Can't see the button. Okay, got it.